Today on Bollywood Monster Live.
2 fines for the 2 giggles.
We love disco, so we're pumped. Jimmy, 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 Jimmy,
Mixed with Jimmy.
You pick how many Jimmys you need.
Lots of Jimmy.
Bollywood disco music is like the best Bollywood music.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice.
Might be a strong statement.
Controversial.
Yes. We love the cheese.
Yeah,
We're gonna
we all
end
love
with
cheese.
Hard cheese or soft cheese?
Hard cheese all the way.
Okay.
Girl, get out of here. Relationship over.
We're done.
Hello, I'm Vikas Kohli, the Executive Director of monstrARTity, and today we are going to get behind the scenes with the Bollywood Monster Orchestra and all the creative minds that go behind it. We are going to be talking with Jennalee and Ria from the Giggle Queens, and for those who don't know what Bollywood Monster Orchestra is, it is a live mashup of musicians performing Western songs and Bollywood songs together. If you've ever been to a party, I don't know if anyone's ever been to a party before, they have these things called DJs and they mix songs up. So we're doing that, except all live, and then we throw dancers on top of it. Not too hard though, because we don't want Jennalee and Ria to get angry with us. But so moving right in to meeting the fine Giggle Queens. 2 fines for the 2 giggles. So first, what songs are you doing choreography to this time?
Ooh. Well, where to
ahead.
start? I mean, we knew that going into it before you sent us the list that it was disco, and we love disco, so we're pumped. And then we've ended up choosing hot
Yes,
stuff.
Hot stuff with Makabala.
Yeah. Jimmy, 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 Jimmy,
Mixed with Jimmy.
You pick
Jimmy.
how many Jimmys you need.
Lots of Jimmys. And then
It's time
we're
to-
ending off with, it's time to disco / it's time to YMCA.
Yes, because we love the cheese.
Yeah,
We're gonna
we're
end
all
with
about
the
the
cheese.
cheese.
Hard cheese or soft cheese?
What? Hard cheese all the way.
Okay.
Girl, get out of here. Relationship over.
We're done.
So, okay, the songs that you guys picked then, talk a little bit about why those songs, like when you heard those, was it the mashup between the East and West? Was it the particular Eastern song? Was it the particular Western song? What was the thing that pulled you towards those particular ones?
Great question. Great question. Yeah, I think for both of us, it was a mix of, Jennalee and I, as you know, maybe you don't know though, we have trained in whacking, which is a disco style, but I have also trained in Bollywood and Indian dance styles. So there's a lot to play with in the songs. Like there are disco and whacking songs that really stuck out to Jen, and there's Bollywood songs in there that I was like, we have to do this song. So it was really kind of both our ears coming together and figuring out what mashup worked for both of our styles and, the musicality that we want to play with, which is pretty exciting because, we've been doing fusion for like the whole time that Giggle Queens has been around, and this is kind of the ultimate performance for us, especially because it's disco and Bollywood, which are the 2 main styles that we do. So yeah.
And live.
And live.
Live music, the dream.
So now it sounds like we're just all enjoying throwbacks to our youth here when we hear these songs, bringing some good memories, all this stuff. So when you went to start doing the choreography, what is it that you're thinking about? So I'll ask, let's go Jennalee first.
Okay.
Choreography.
Well, we kind of decided as we were choosing the songs that we really wanted to embrace and love the 70s element, and whacking makes an appearance on the TV show Soul Train, which we kind of talked about. So we really wanted to draw inspiration from not only the movement of Soul Train, but the context, so the way people are dancing socially. And we're coming into our creative process with these ideas. The Soul Train line, everybody freestyling, but then coming together. Yeah, in terms of our creative process, I think it's very organic. We like to have a big plan, but not a little plan of detail. So we like to just kind of try things, let them land, try some other moves, and let them marinate, and then edit later on. So that's where we're at right now.
Was that a very explicit hint or subtle hint that we'll see a Soul Train style, dance off on stage?
It was an explicit
Okay,
hint.
just making sure.
It's going down.
It's happening.
Some of our other dancers are extremely strong freestylers,
Yeah.
and we really want to not only bring the choreography, but bring the freestyle element, which we're pumped about.
Music is always, the number one inspiration for dancers. I mean, I can't speak for all dancers, but at least for us. So yeah, even like before an idea comes, the music is really what is going to, anchor everything, anchor all the ideas that come. So, we might listen to the song and be like, oh, this sounds very like dramatic, or this is a really good place for a battle or something like that. So that's like the big idea. But then we're gonna move and maybe we'll freestyle a little bit. So we'll play the music, we might like freestyle in a corner by ourselves a little bit, and then we'll come together and be like, okay, what about this? We might put it together, pick and choose from moments we liked in our freestyle. And then through that movement, we might be like, oh, this is a really good point for like a soloist to kind of come in and take over, or like the story kind of comes through. But the movement and music is always first, and then everything comes after.
What does a timeline look like of what you need to do? How many meetings do you have that you're just like thinking about it versus when you actually start getting the moves happening to then when you start rehearsing with other people? What's the timeline typically like?
It depends on like the complexity of what we're doing, how many dancers do we have, what's the level of the choreography. If we're doing something super intricate, super advanced, it's gonna be a little bit longer, If, like I usually say, if you're learning a minute of choreo, you need an hour of rehearsal to learn it. That's not to choreograph it. So, Jen and I are gonna have meetings that are just creative, strictly creative, like kind of blocking out logistics, like how many dancers, what's the rehearsals, what's the rehearsal space, what are the costumes, that's all like admin stuff. And then we have the creative piece. So what are the songs, what song's going first, who's in what piece, like what's the vision for each of those. Then we have to meet to actually choreograph it, and you might hit those mental blocks. Yeah. And when you have a timeline, it can be a little bit hard, but within that time crunch, there might be some cool stuff that comes out of it, because you just gotta roll with it. You don't have time to be like, no, let's go over that. There's no time really. So then after we do all of that, now we have to meet with our dancers and actually teach it to them. And that's when the time crunch is really on, because we only have a couple hours with our dancers. We want to pay them fairly also, so we don't want to have 10-hour rehearsals. That's not fair to everyone. So we have to plan it meticulously so that we come in and that we're not wasting anybody's time. So what we've decided to do this year is to have a Zoom meeting with everybody before we enter rehearsal, so we can explain, what's the vision, what's going on before we meet, so we can just get to dancing right away when we see everybody.
Ev, how you doing?
Doing good. How are you doing?
So maybe this is a good time, since we're talking about the music and the inspiration it has for the dancers. What is your role in the Bollywood Monster Orchestra project?
Oh, I just get coffee for people.
That's important. That's important.
Essential.
You can't run a rehearsal without coffee.
No.
Don't even try. No, but I mean, I'm pretty much kind of managing things on the music side, getting the musicians, sending them the tracks to learn, picking the tracks, writing down the music on paper for them to learn.
Wow.
And then making sure they all show up in the same room on the same day and they actually learn the music, and that there's a schedule for the day, that they know when is the show, when do I show up for the show, what do I wear to the show, all that jazz.
What is the first step in making of BMO from your perspective?
First step is picking the theme. Because I think, as you mentioned in the beginning, we have a different theme every year. It's always Bollywood plus something. So me and Vikas will always pick, like, okay, what are we doing this year? And I was super excited this year is disco, because I also love disco music. I think this is just a room of disco lovers, which is amazing. And I also think Bollywood disco music is like the best Bollywood music.
Wow, nice.
Might be a strong statement.
Controversial.
Yes. Give us feedback. We want to hear from you.
So yeah, picking the theme. And after that, it's picking the songs on both sides. Like picking the Bollywood songs and picking the disco songs or whatever English songs they are, and picking what fits together.
Yeah, that's a hard job.
Yeah, I want to know about that. Like, how do you...
It's an interesting... I think it's a very... For me, honestly, it's a very random process.
Yeah.
How I do it, like, I'll just listen to a whole bunch of songs. Like, sometimes I'll have songs in mind, like, especially because this year with disco, I'm like, I know disco songs. So I kind of have a list, like, can I match this with anything? But because now not so much, but especially a few years ago starting this project, I didn't know Bollywood that well. So it would always just be like, okay, I'm gonna listen to this playlist of top 50 Bollywood songs and see which ones I like. And then whatever I like, I'll be like, okay, can I fit this with something else? And how I determine if I can fit two things is pretty much just, first of all, are they like, visually, do they sound similar at all? Like sometimes it's just like they're about the same speed and they're in the same key. And it's like, okay, I can match that.
Nice.
Sometimes, they're not exactly the same speed, not exactly the same key, but it's like, oh, that bass line, it's actually almost the same, which is weird because it's like this Bollywood song from the 80s and this song that came out in 2010. Like they definitely had no, they didn't talk to each other, but somehow that bass line is the exact same almost. So just finding the little things in the music that are similar. And then, then I just layer them.
Yes.
Or even if it's like a chord progression or just like anything like that. And then it's just the fun part of just figuring out how they fit together. Sometimes like you really want to make something work and it's just not, when you try, it's just really not working. And
Yes.
it's like,
Tried that with some songs.
Yes,
Yeah,
we've tried our own mashups and you
Right.
can't force
you
it.
can't force everything.
This is cool. This is what this is about. See, dancers and musicians learning about what it takes, and hopefully everyone else listening and learning about both of the things. But equal awe happening here.
It's a lot of work on
Yeah.
both sides.
That's
Yeah, definitely.
that is the moral of the story.
And we're super grateful because often people have no clue, I don't know if you get this, how much work it takes to dance.
yeah,
They're like, well,
for sure.
do a dance
Yes.
right now.
Even the musicians, I would say, don't know how much work it is to create the music that they're preparing.
Right.
Wow.
Because we've had stories in the past, like I know I've gotten,
I know what story you're talking about.
I have a lot of stories. Like musicians have said to me, like after I signed them on for the show, like, oh, can we do this song? And I was like, maybe we can do that song next year. But I wrote this sheet music 8 months ago, so
Oh my
no.
gosh.
Yes.
So
Yes.
no.
We're
And
living in a long-term plan.
It's a long-term plan here.
Yes.
And I know, I don't think, not in my time, but I know people have asked you before to change the key during the rehearsal. Which is absolutely not.
Okay, well now I know that is
Yeah.
not easy.
I can't believe that it's only this year that we're working with you on this project because I think you're like the perfect group to fit in with this project. Because you also do really cool and outside the box things.
Thank you for saying that.
Okay, but I want to know then is what excites you the most of what you're going to do this year, Jennalee?
Oh my gosh. Everything we talked about, it feels like it's all, every BMM that we've done, this is our sixth one, and now we get to do it with live musicians. Like it's all been leading to this moment. Whacking, for me, this is more a Jennalee answer, but is my passion, and it's a disco style. Like I'm paying homage to like the root of the dance, not just the music, but like the way it was done on Soul Train, and it's just feeling so good. So what am I most excited for? Just like living in that live music, disco fever, everything's coming together moment. With my best friend.
That's it.
Yeah.
And Ria?
Yeah, I think like there's a couple of things like, it's all coming together. First of all, in terms of like Bollywood Monster mashup, who like is all about the mashups, and then Giggle Queens also all about the mashups. But then the fact that it's disco and Bollywood, which are like our two favorite things, is like ding 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 number 2, and then ding 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 number 3. We've always wanted to do like, whether it was BMM or not, like a show with a live band. Like that is, I think, for a lot of dancers, the dream. Like the energy that you're feeding off with dancers, but then musicians, that is just so special. Like for musicians and for dancers, I think that bond is really, really important and impactful. So I think number 3, ding ding ding, and then number 4, ding ding ding, is just like, because it's been maybe like 2.5 years of not a lot of performances, I am kind of like scared about the energy and the adrenaline that's gonna happen, because we've been so, what's the word? Like suppressed for the last 2.5 years of that kind of energy, that performance energy. So I'm excited. It's
Ding, ding, ding.
ding, ding, ding all the way. Yeah.
I feel on that as like, you can ring my bell.
Bell.
That
Nice.
song almost made it on the list.
I love that. My favorite part of that song is at the beginning.
Yeah.
Like 20 times.
Ev, from your perspective, what are you most excited about this year?
Ooh, okay. I have two things. One, I think as we were all talking, like the disco and the Bollywood. I'm also excited for that combination. Those are also two genres that I love. And then also, I guess from the music side, I'm very excited about. I'm just very excited about specific songs. Like one of the ones that you two are dancing to, the Hot Muqabala.
Yeah.
That it was like just a complete chance that came to be a thing.
Ooh.
Because it was on that Vikas had just looked at like the tentative list and he was like, I feel like we need like another like really popular Bollywood song in there, like something that people will get excited about.
That's one of my favorite songs.
So I was looking up really popular Bollywood songs.
Very clear direction I give.
Yes.
So then one of the probably the second one that I came up was the Muqabala song, which I hadn't heard before. And then as soon as I started listening to it, I was like, that should go with Hot Stuff.
Wow.
I didn't even have like a reason why. I was just like, that makes me think of the Hot Stuff songs that we tried putting them together, and like it worked so much better than I even thought it would, even in that random moment. So I'm very excited to hear that one live. And then also, similar to how you said you're excited about working with a live band, which is great to hear. I'm excited to have dancers perform live with us because we've been wanting to do that for years. But then it was 2 years of pandemic and we literally couldn't have that many people in the room, even though we still went forward with the project. We had to record the band and then record the dancers separately.
Right.
Because it was too many people.
I remember.
So this is like the third year of us trying to combine music and dance on this project, and it's finally actually happening live.
It's coming together.
It's finally coming together.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like we got like this mutual understanding about the work that you do, and you got some understanding of the work that happens on the musician side.
100%.
So cool.
And I just thought it was really cool that basically everything that you're doing has the same parallel on the music side.
Yeah.
And then we all just come together and ding, ding, ding away the
Ding,
night.
ding, ding.
Yeah. For the audience.
I feel like that's like some sort of like a pootie tang slang going on, like ding, ding, ding all night long or whatever. I don't know. Sapatow.
I love it.
If a pootie tang reference makes it into this final cut of the video, that would be amazing.
Then shout out to the editor.
So we got the Giggle Queens. We got Ev on behalf of the Bollywood and Monster Orchestra.
Music superstar.
And I'm going to just do a preemptive shout out to, of course, Antonia, who's also helping out with the charts this year. And then we're going to looking forward to that first rehearsal with all the amazing musicians. And then finally putting it all together with the dancers. Yay. This is going to be so fun. I think I'm most excited after I heard your response about how you're most excited. That got me excited.
Okay, okay, good.
So that's it.
We're all just going to be really excited. Yeah.
So if anyone else there is excited about doing this type of thing, then, let us know, contact us, be part of the Bollywood Monster Orchestra fun. It's all where it's at. Okay.
It's all where it's at. Ding, ding, ding.
Ding, ding, ding.